Sorry. Yeah. So previous workshop was organized here in 2016, and I just wonder how many of you have participated in that workshop 2 years ago. Okay, good, thank you. Quite a few, but still most of you are new to ELRC and our activities, so I will probably give you some broader overview and context of what we are doing and why we are doing this. Oops, yeah, it's this one. Yeah, and Richard already showed you and told you about e-translation service, and this is one of the key services, so-called building blocks of European digital service infrastructure. European Commission is supporting a number of activities to create cross-border digital services that enable and automate many aspects of our work and public administration activities. And some of these services are like essential to enable others, like e-delivery, e-invoicing, e-ID, e-signature. You probably heard about these services, what are integrated in other services, but today we will talk about e-translation and why e-translation is so important. Yeah, to make digital services accessible across borders for all language communities in Europe. And to break language borders that are still fragmenting European market, and like that example of tender calls is a very vivid example where just language was a barrier to find opportunities in other countries to participate in tenders, and by implementing e-translation and providing that information in all EU languages, it opens competition, opens opportunities, and drives European business. And the purpose of e-translation is to provide high quality translation services for public administrations, and with a few limitations also for businesses, like e-commerce is included in the scope of target audience. To make those available through different means, through website translation, and what is even more important, through integration, through API level integration, to make it easier to integrate translation into all kind of digital services created by public administrations. And almost all the time when we talk about European machine translation activities, we get a question, why should Europe do that if there's Google Translate? Everybody knows Google Translate and use Google Translate. But there are a number of very important arguments. We cannot rely just on one global player for such an essential need as translation, as our languages. There should be options and alternatives. That's one argument. Other argument is that when you use service, even if it's free, actually for volume translations Google Translate also is not free, then actually you are paying with your data. Terms of use for Google Translate allows Google to use your data for all kind of activities what they want to do with this data. But for public institutions, you often deal with confidential information. You also have to deal with private information, and now in 2 days GDPR will take into force in Europe, and it will be even more stricter rules on personal information. And this is why such information could not be translated by public services like Google Translate or Microsoft Translator or others. And so Europe needs quality and secure service to enable public administrations and digital services. And I think e-translation is built in a way to be integrated in all kind of other services, and these are pan-European services like ODR, Open Dispute Resolution Service, where you can put your complaints online for services that you get in other country. For example, if you went to Bulgaria about shoes and those shoes are not good enough, and you have to want to complain, you can fill the form in ODR. To go to court for such a small case, it's too expensive, but you can put that complaint in your language, in Swedish, and that complaint will be translated in Bulgarian automatically, sent to institution that is responsible for these complaints in Bulgaria, we will take care, and you will get response again in Swedish. It doesn't work yet as for other languages, as nice as I explained it. There is still translation challenge, but eventually it will provide this opportunity for all the languages, and this is just an example. That are goals for ELRC. ELRC stands for European Language Resource Coordination Action, and ELRC is here to help to make e-translation better, to meet with quality needs, to meet the needs of covering different domains, different areas, to understand the specificity of different fields and terminology and stylistic requirements. And how to do that? It's by collecting data. And there's a lot of data being produced in public administrations, and I believe in your organizations you also have a lot of language data, and also you deal with a lot of translations. And usually when in Europe we talk about open data, people think about figures, numbers, geospatial data or registers, but data is a much broader concept, and language data, texts, what's in texts, in documents, on websites, it's also very valuable data, and it's valuable to train services like machine translation, which learns from human data how to automate translation process. And actually there are other areas where this data also can help to make AI services. Okay. Oops. Yeah, and yeah, and this is like a two-way cooperation. What we encourage. It's to inform you about possibilities what the e-translation service provides, so to encourage you to use these services, and from other side to involve you in cooperation to make these services better. And how can you cooperate is by sharing your data. Idea is to collect and create a repository of this open data collected from many public institutions across Europe, and to remove the obstacles in this process. And you definitely, if you deal with this data, you have questions: what data can I share, and what is not shareable? What are legal aspects involved in this? How to do that technically? How to process it? How to make it easier, and how to find time and resources for this. And we are here to help to address these issues and to remove these technical and legal obstacles. So how do we do that? In ELRC we support collection of language resources. We identify needs of public services and with digital service infrastructures on European and national level, and when focus data collection activities to target these needs. We engage different institutions in these activities, and we help with practical aspects of data collection. ELRC is pan-European activity involving all EU countries, and it's coordinated by consortium contracted by European Commission, and the consortium has 4 partners. DFKI, it's German Artificial Intelligence Center. ELRC, it's Language Resource Distribution Agency located in France. ILSP, it's a German Language and Speech Processing Center, and TILDA is a language technology company in Baltic countries. And yeah, we do have to do this practical coordination and support work that involves representatives, ELRC representatives in all European countries, and at least 2 representatives in every country. One is represent the public sector, and the other is a technical expert in this field. And here in Sweden, Richard is a public sector representative for ELRC, and Lars Borin from University of Göteborg is the main technical and language resource expert involved in ELRC activities. Yeah, and what kind of data is needed to improve e-translation? And basically, the most valuable data is source and target language data, source text and translation into other language. And the more data will be fed into these machine learning algorithms, the better quality will be provided by e-translation systems. But particularly important are translations in specific fields, specific areas, because in many areas there is a specific terminology and context, and so to train machine translation to understand this, to use this terminology and linguistic aspects, is domain-specific data is necessary. And this is an analogy with human translation. If you organize a meeting of, for example, neuroscientists, and you would like to invite interpreter to translate it, you would likely make sure that this interpreter understands something about neuroscience and knows terms and concepts what have to be used in translation, and the same applies to machine translation. One size does not fit all, and domain-specific translation systems can provide the best translation quality. So combining specific data, even if it's small in size, with larger size generic data, this e-translation service could be cover broad areas of domains of translation. ELRC activity is ongoing for about 3 years already, and the first phase was more on awareness raising and cooperation creation, but many valuable resources are already collected, and as you can see on the slide, overall we public institutions donated and provided, it's already more than 225 different resources. Many of them had to be processed and prepared. Some of them were like with restricted usage, but 91 language resource is already fully processed, cleaned, prepared, and available as an open data resource on ELRC share repository, what's open repository, and also on a European open data portal, so that not only e-translation service can benefit from this data, but translation companies, language service providers, and other companies and researchers dealing with language technologies can openly use that data, so it serves broader needs of language development. Yeah, the major focus is on translation data, bilingual or multilingual corpora, but still there are quite a lot of terminology resources collected, and these are very valuable for domain-specific machine translation, and monolingual corpora as well. And you can find this details of these resources and can download these from ELRC repository. The main resource where to find all the information about these activities and results is on the website LR-coordination.eu, and when you will find both information and there is actually resources on this website. And we do provide assistance and help dealing with translation needs, your translation needs, helping you to understand how e-translation can help in your work, and in helping you to contribute with your language resources. So if you have any legal and technical questions and issues to deal with, you are more than welcome to approach our consortium. So as I said, we do have this very broad network of experts in all EU countries for all European languages. Yeah, I should say it's the area of coverage for these activities is EU countries, EU languages, and Norwegian and Icelandic as well. Yeah, in particular, there's a lot of work being done for Icelandic language to make sure that it's well supported and integrated into these services. So, and we do have these experts in all the countries, not just with one technical expert, but these technical experts are well connected and respected in their countries, so we can provide, I think, the best expertise in the field what's available on this planet. And what are practical aspects what we are dealing with? There are a lot of those. These are related, for example, with data conversion. Some institutions, you probably know about how translation memories can help in translation work and are widely used, but still many institutions have multilingual documents but do not have corresponding translation memories, and so we can help to convert these documents into translation memories that are usable for training machine translation and that are immediately usable by translators in your institutions, so that you can avoid repetitive translations and you can speed up and increase efficiency of translation. Then that's related to this data preparation is removing noise and tags and other kind of extra information this is needed for creating clean translation memories and clean data for training machine translation systems. Also for aligning data between languages, sometimes there's a repository of let's say English documents and other repository of translated documents, let's say in Swedish, but those are not aligned. There's no like direct correspondence. To do that manually would be very difficult, but we do have cases and automated tools how to automatically align data on document level, on sentence level, on a phrase level, and to do validation of data. And anonymization is an important issue. Sometimes the language resources what may include some personal information, and there are techniques how to anonymize that information, to remove this personal data, to replace it with placeholders, de-anonymize it, and make it usable for machine translation development. And this you can like receive those services in different ways by calling help desk, in phone conversation, through Skype, email, but very good opportunities to receive on-site assistance. Yeah, it's a free service where experts, ELRC experts, can come to your site to help you to assess the data what you have, the issues or challenges what you have, and to provide technical solution, consultants, and advice how to deal with those. And of course, why this service is provided and provided for free is to help you, so that you can also help by providing resulting language resources to e-translation. And part of that, because data in all the fields is one of the most important assets what is in digital economy, or maybe the most. No, humans are even more important. Then data management is essential. I'm finishing. Data management is essential, and so we do also have data management guidelines what can help you to improve the process, how to get the best use of data what you have. So if you we encourage you to take part in these activities, to discuss these opportunities in details later today, to see good examples, also what will be presented today, and you are very welcome to approach us directly or through ELRC website, ELR coordination, and also if you are interested during coffee breaks, I can share you some case studies in Spain and Germany, how we helped in institutions to get the best use of their data. So I will be here throughout the day, so feel free to discuss and use this opportunity to talk together. Thank you very much.